Hi, I'm Andrew Jenkinson and welcome to the Caravan Industry channel. Hi and welcome to a new video, and today we're testing the latest Subaru Outback. Now, I tested one of these many years ago and it had the boxer diesel engine in and it was really a cracking car. But of course what happens over time is with cars, they tend to get bigger, and this new Outback is certainly that. I've been using this all week, driving around town mainly, and to be quite honest, it's quite a beast to park. But it's got loads of safety features on, and I've now brought it out into the sticks. I'm at a place called Wardley's Creek, which is just on the Fylde coast on the Wyre estuary, and it's a lovely spot here. There's all these boats here and things, and it's a place where people do a lot of photography and obviously a lot of sailing. But anyway, enough of that. The Subaru Outback, what is it? Well, it's a 2.5 petrol engine. It's not a hybrid. Was he surprised? Well, so was I. And you can't get it as a hybrid either, or in a diesel. So it's a 2.5 petrol engine, which produces 167 brake horsepower, and it does around about 30 odd to the gallon. Well, I've been managing around about 32 maybe maximum, because I've done a lot of town driving. As I was saying, it's been going on short journeys, all types of things. But now I've been out in the backs here and I've had some little bit of fun down the back roads. Now, it does handle quite well, but anyway, more of that in a moment. So, Subaru, what do we know about them? Well, they've been in the UK since about 1976, and what brought them to fame was the fact is they made four-wheel drive vehicles, and it was a vehicle that actually still looked like a car. So it wasn't like a big Land Rover type SUV vehicle. It was still a car, but in four-wheel drive. Now, Subaru, of course, became more famous with Impreza, and it was a very, very high-performance rally car and won many, many rallies. But the brand has not been very successful here in the UK for the last few years. There's a lot of competition out there. You know, we've had SsangYong and people like that, and Suzuki and Kia and Hyundai. These are all attacking the market, whereas at one time Subaru, when they were coming in, these other makers didn't exist on the UK market. So Subaru really wants to make their mark in the European market and also in the UK. Now, I'm going to take you inside the car and I'm going to show you the layouts, because it's nice and spacious inside and it feels very upmarket. Anyway, follow me and we'll go and have a look inside. Well, here in the cabin of the Outback, it's really quite plush. Now, I read one or two reviews on the Outback, and to be quite honest, I think they're quite unfair, because they sort of said it was a bit sort of not very good interior, but I think, to be quite honest, I think the quality feels really good. I like all the soft plastics, and it's just nicely, I like the stitch in here. We've got the leather upholstery, There's electric seats on both sides, obviously heated, and there's heated rear seats too. And this is the Touring model, which out of the 3 model range is the top of the range. So this on the road is around about £41,500. But of course, as you and I know, we wouldn't pay that. We'd go out and do be a bit more savvy and get a good deal. And if you look around on the internet, you will find some of these a bit of money knocked off them. But as I say, it's a new car, it's a new Outback, and what I do quite like is all this. I mean, you don't have any proper real knobs anymore. That's the thing these days. And it's all touch controls for your radio, your phone, your media, that sort of thing. So for your phone settings, your media settings. So basically, we'll turn that down. Don't want to get any copyright thing. Everything's sort of quite easy to get hold of. Now I know sometimes it can be a bit fiddly and a little bit annoying, you know, because when you're driving, trying to adjust and watch the road at the same time. But you see, that's another thing. What Subaru have done, these little eyelet type sensors here actually monitor you, the driver. And what you can do is you can actually get it so it face recognises you. It's all clever stuff. And the other day I was sort of dawdling along as you do, and something took my eye, and as I sort of took my eye, a warning sign came up and it said, driver not keeping his eyes on the road. Incredible, but true. It's got lots of safety features on it. It's got high beam activation. It's got tells you if people are coming close to you. It's got camera thing on the front, so you can see the front corner. It's got lots of features, and of course it's an auto box, and you can't get it in a manual box. But the auto box is very smooth, it changes very well. You can also put it into manual, and you've got the paddles here on the steering wheel, of course. Lights, well, that's self-explanatory. Again, on the stalk, you can have an automatic, which I always tend to do. Now, as I say, I've only had this for a few days, and is it a car I can live with? Well, yes, it's quite comfortable, but I'm going to show you more as we drive along. I'm now going to take you into the back, because in here, there are lots of good little cubby holes, like that. That's quite deep. You can't adjust an armrest like you can in some models, like in the VWs, but you can still use it. You've got all your controls here for your mirrors, of course, and your windows, and it does lock. Now, there's also a speed camera warning system, and at the moment I can't get this thing to actually stop, like sounding like Big Ben. It really is it's just a bit of a nuisance, and I can't work it out, and I'm not going to try to, because by the time the car goes back I may have found out what it was all about. Anyway, I'm going to show you in the back, because there's quite a lot of legroom in the back, and also there's heated rear seats as well. That could be good. Right, in the back here, what's it like for the rear passengers? Well, I've had a few people sat in the back here and no one's complained at all about it being cramped, and to be quite honest, there's plenty of leg room. And what I do like is the tunnel here in the middle isn't very high, so even when someone's sat in the middle here, it's not too obtrusive to them. So at the end of the day, they can travel quite relaxed. There's good vents in the back here, and again, as I say, there's the heated seats. Plus, there is, of course, a USB socket, so you can charge up, and a nice finish on the cup holders too, and that's nicely positioned. Now, I'm not very tall, but if I was, there's plenty of headroom here, so if you're very tall, you're not gonna struggle at all. And of course, there's LED lighting here. Not every new car has that. Some still use the old style light bulbs. So of course you can use that as a ski hatch for putting long things through when you put the seats down to make this up, which makes up a fair old size of a loading bay. Also, you can adjust the backrests on the seats too, so you can have them all sit up, or if you want to sit back, you can do it. And just before I do forget, there's the sunroof. Now, that's great, and I'm glad they fitted that one in, and I would expect that this money, but I think, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm no doubt you the viewers will tell me, but I think that really should be a panoramic sunroof. It does feel a bit small for the size of the car, and I think that would be better. Anyway, I'll show you the boot. When it comes to the boot, we've got the powered lift, and this is a good sizable boot. Now, with the seats down, it makes it one heck of a lot of space. So if you're going down to the local tip or down to your local DIY store, you're not going to be too worried about the amount of stuff you're not going to be able to get in the back of this car, because it is one big old fair old size length of car. What there is also, there's a big bass speaker here, and what I must say is the sound system in this is very, very good. I'm a bit critical on car hi-fi, and I've always been a bit that way inclined to have upgraded mine in the olden days when I was younger, when car stereo systems weren't particularly very good. But this is an excellent sounding system. Also as well, you can pull the seats down by the levers here, so you don't have to mess about reaching over or going through it to pull the seats down. So you can just flick the lid and that goes down. And of course, you've got your parcel shelf here. And does it come with a spare wheel? Well, sadly not. It doesn't. It comes with the usual kit of basically the old liquid, but we know you should really have a proper spare. Now this has come equipped with a tow bar, and again, unfortunately, I've not had any chance to tow this, and I want to do that with some of the cars. I want to do some tow car tests as well, and I feel a little bit cheated I've not used this as a tow car, because I think it would be pretty good. So that's the boot. Right, this car rides on 18-inch alloys, and I must admit it really absorbs the bumps well. But anyway, let's crack on. We're losing our light a little bit and get the seat up and belted up. It's keyless, of course. I had a bit of a job starting this car before. It seemed like it all jammed up. It wouldn't start. And eventually what I did, I got out of the car, locked the car up, unlocked it again, and everything seemed to work perfectly. So anyway, that's how it goes. It's not done the same thing since, so I presume everything's a-okay. Stick it in drive, fully automatic. You got an automatic car. Personally, I don't bother with the manual paddles at all. If I'm driving automatic, hey, let the car do all the work. A bicycle. What I do like about that back, you've got a lot of window area which enables you to see what's going on around you, which is of course most important with the amount of traffic on the roads today. Now the 2.5 petrol engine, as I say, produces 167 brake horsepower, and that's not a lot considering for the size of the engine, I suppose. And yes, when you do accelerate it a bit on a bit of quiet road, that engine does make a bit, it makes itself heard. But the gear change is nice and smooth. I like that. And the ride, even though this is a big car, you'd expect it to wallow around more, but it doesn't. It is quite good on its road holding. It doesn't have that body roll quite as I've tested on some cars over the years. As I say, a trip to the fuel station means 33 miles to the gallon. Yeah, you know, with the way fuel's gone of late, this isn't going to be exactly a cheap car to run, but then again, you're not going to buy it for an economy car. This car is something that will take you and your passengers on a nice costed ride, and it's all-wheel drive too. And I'll tell you something, the Subaru is perfectly adept at going on ground that's not, would leave some cars behind. Now I've not tried it on that. The ground's been very, very dry of late, and I've not seen any really soft ground, and I've not had time to take it on that, because again, we only get these cars for about a week, which is a bit of a shame really, because you don't quite get to grips with them, and you know, until you've had them for an extra long week if I've had an extended test. What I do like, now it's going dusk, obviously it's lighting up time, this dashboard is very nicely lit up, and everything like the controls for your lights, your wipers, they're all very close to hand, but it's all very well lit up. It's not a digital readout, which may surprise, oh, it's a few spoil racers there going past, which may surprise you, and it does me a little bit, because I'd have thought that today would have come as standard with a digital readout dials. But hey, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't really bother me too much at all. But of course the car's got sat nav, it's got full aircon, of course. It's got, as I say, the lane. See, the lights coming on now tell me the car was overtaking me. There's lots of things going on. If you're not careful, you could be actually distracted with all the safety features. But as I say, general comfort is great. I like it, and the seat is easy because, of course, it is electric to set, and also there's some settings here to save the seat in two seating positions. So if there's two of you driving the car, number two wants it but how they want it, is press a button, seat. Now that is telling me there's a speed camera, and I'll tell you what that speed camera is left, and it's about quarter mile down the road, so it really is sort of forewarning me. But it does sound like Big Ben. There must be a way you can turn that down. But the car is easy to drive. The steering is quite a bit of feeling the steering, and I do like it. I've liked this car. I really do. I've liked the car. It is, say, a big car if you're not into a very big SUV type car, and this isn't quite classed as SUV. It's like classed as an estate car, but with capable off-road ability. Subaru have always had that to their name. But the new Outback, I really do think it's a very nice car, and the fit and finish outside is good too. Everything's sort of well put together. The quality, the paintwork is very good. This is in like a green finish. I mean, obviously the colours are available, but I reckon this polished up would look nice. And I've had a few people comment this week exactly about the car and saying the car looks really nice. And do you know what? It does. Going on a nice bit of straight road here, accelerating away nicely. It's smooth. It's the Boxer engine that Subaru have developed, and it is a very good engine. There's no doubt about it. And I'll just put this window up slightly because it does obviously make a bit of a noise with the wind. 55, 60. It's just tickling around really. And also the change there is really smooth. I'm really impressed with it. But I'm going to go around a few more little back roads before they come to the end of this drive, and then I will do a summary of the car. And I think I might do, well, where shall I go for that? I might just go up to the seafront. Right, I'm just going around a bit of a road here that not far from where I live actually. We're going to knock this person out, we're not careful. It's only the white legs that have actually shown them where they are. This used to be used by local boy races for, and still is I think, up to a point, to test the cars and their driving abilities, some of them ending up in the hedges. But it's good just to sort of take a test car round, and because there's some quite nice tight little corners round here. And to be quite honest, again, I think the car handles pretty well, and that's what I really brought it round for. You know, if you're on a nice sort of B road with twists and turns, you're not going to be getting out of this feeling sick and the kids puking up and complaining at you. Everyone gets a nice cosseted ride really. It really is good. But as I say, I've taken down some big potholes as well this last week, and it really has taken the bumps really well. So what do I think of the new Outback? Well, I think it's looking pretty good, but hey, let's have a last review on it. Let's go and find somewhere very quickly to tell you exactly what I think. The good and the bad and the ugly, and that's not me. Well, I'm here at the seaside. I'm down actually on Rossall Beach, which is a few miles down the road from Blackpool's famous Golden Mile. And after a day's testing, the Subaru Outback, what better place to come and just sit back and relax. Okay, it's now getting on very late evening, the tide's out. But what do I think about that Outback? Well, for 41 grand, or just thereabouts over, I think you'd get a lot of car for the money. And we know nothing's cheap these days, and nothing will be ever cheap. Let's put it that way for a long time. But I think the Subaru is a well-built car. I like the looks. I like that colour. I was a bit out on it at first, but now I really do like the colour. And a lot of people have commented on it. Yeah, things I would do is definitely probably have a panoramic sunroof in there, and also I think the handbrake, which is an electric handbrake, isn't auto, so you've got to use it manually, which I think is a little bit of a downer, especially on a car that price. But there's quite a bit of storage, not probably quite as much as you'd expect on a car of that size, but you've got a good decent sized boot, put the seats down, and you're off down to your local B&Q store to collect your wardrobe or your whole kitchen unit, of course. So, to round this up, is it worth the money? Like I've said before, a lot of money for the car. And if I was going to look for a big estate car that has off-road capabilities, yet I don't want sort of an SUV, the Outback has got to be on the list. I think Subaru have done a really good job, and I'm hoping to test some more Subaru cars because, as I say, it must be 10 years at least since I last tested a Subaru. So, from a rather now chilly evening from the countryside, we've come into the seaside. I can see Blackpool Tower lit up in the distance. I think it's time to get something to eat. As I always say at the end of a lot of my videos, because it's usually I've missed all my meals, so guess what, I'm going to go off and get myself some good old fish and chips. Yeah, the real McCoy. I'm at the seaside. Well, I live just not far from here, so that's a bit false really, isn't it? But anyway, never mind. Fish and chips, you can't beat it. Good old British tradition. Yeah, truly, I don't smell the Subaru out. It smells nice inside, a lot of leather. It's pretty good, yeah. Yeah, I've enjoyed my week with it, definitely. Oh well, all good things must come to an end. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you like them. Please don't forget to press the thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Bye for now.